Look at this cuddle time happening right here. Look at this cuddle time. Hi, Tumnus.
I have to say I'm rather miffed.
You're miffed?
I'm miffed.
Why are you miffed?
Because you interrupted my nap.
I know, I like woke him up and he's like, why?
We have work, we have responsibilities, she says, but I have a need for napping.
Welcome back to Vee Vlogs. We are currently sitting in the guest room. I'm wearing a ton of makeup because I just filmed a couple videos. It just feels... You did?
Yeah, I'm wearing so much right now.
It feels a little weird being all dressed up because we're going to tell you guys some bad news today. I don't even know where to start. So if you guys have been following our vlog channel the past like probably 4 or 5 vlogs even maybe, we've been keeping you updated with the bird's nest that we have right outside our guest room window. I literally watched it from the very start. So when the bird was building the nest, when she was laying each egg, like each day, we watched like the eggs all the time, really.
You did.
I did. I would check every morning. I would go to the window and I would check to see if they hatched or if there was more eggs. And like, I would always just see the bird like just staring at me in the window, like watching me like, get away, girl. Get away. And it was just like a part of my daily routine. Like it just made me really happy. I felt like I was just a part of that family. Like I felt like I was the mother of these birds.
But you weren't.
I know I wasn't, but I was protecting them and watching over them. Anyway, I would say last week, probably end of the week, I came in one evening and it had been like at this point, like probably 15 or 16 days since the eggs had been there. And like I said, I'd gone online and usually the incubation period is 13 days before they hatch. It's pretty like, that's like the time it happens.
Pretty consistent.
It's pretty consistent. So it was like 15 days or something and I was like, this is so weird. But I went to check on them one evening last week and I saw that the mother was like pecking at the eggs. So I was like, okay, that's probably because she's trying to help them like come out of their eggs, because when the birds start to hatch, apparently the mother has to be there to help them get out. So she removes some of the egg and like just helps them to be released from the eggs. So I was like, oh, they're probably hatching. I went over to them and I saw like one little like mark on the egg, probably where she was pecking. So I told Ty and he's like, let's just leave them for tonight. Let them hatch if they're hatching and tomorrow we'll see them. So I closed the door, we went to bed, and in the morning I was so excited because I assumed that they hatched. So I ran into the guest room, I looked outside at the nest and the mother was gone and all of the eggs were gone. And there was no cracked eggs like in the nest, like there was no sign of them even being there.
You made me check around the property to see if there was any eggshells.
He like walked around the house to see if he could find the babies, find like any sign of the eggs or anything. He didn't see anything. So I was so confused. I was really scared because I didn't know what was happening. So I went on my phone and I did a lot of research that day about robins and like eggs, and I found a lot of entries of people saying that like they've had the eggs on their house for like weeks and then suddenly they went out and all the eggs were gone. What happened? And it says that usually robins won't move their eggs. Usually. If the eggs were, what's the word if they didn't hatch? Duds. I don't know.
Yeah, and duds would probably be not the scientific term, but yeah, you get the point.
If the eggs weren't gonna hatch and the babies unfortunately weren't alive anymore, they won't move the eggs, they'll just abandon the nest. So if that was the case, there'd probably be no sign of the mother and the eggs would still be there. It says usually if the eggs are gone without a trace, it means a larger predator came and took them. So we're not really sure what happened. We think it was probably a hawk, or they say like a crow or some other big bird.
Yeah, the area isn't very protected from above, so the potential of a larger bird of prey getting the eggs is pretty high. Because I can imagine if it was a raccoon, I would think the nest would be more disturbed than it is. But as you can probably go and see,
the nest is still there, but...
The nest is still there. I was speaking to my mom about it. She said it's not a one and done sort of deal. If the mom's still around, she might come back and still use that nest at some point, so you don't disturb it. Wait until their breeding season's over, and then you can take the nest down. So when you're sure they're not using it anymore.
It probably seems so stupid to a lot of people that we're making a whole video about this robin's nest, but you have to understand.
You were depressed for 3 days.
I actually cried about this. And it might seem silly, but like I've had a lot going on in my life, and I feel like I was emotionally attached to this bird nest, and once the eggs were gone, my sanity left with those eggs. Like literally when I saw that they were gone, I just burst into tears. I was crying. I was trying to do research on what happened to them. And I know that seems silly.
It's the only thing that was keeping you together.
My mental state was like happy waking up and checking on them. I'm gonna cry. Why am I so attached to this?
I just like that you're so sad about this nest when we have another nest on the other side of the house that has babies. Everything's great. They're doing good.
But I wasn't invested in that nest, and
What's wrong with them?
I can't see them. Like this nest right here was in our perfect vision. Like there was only glass in between us. Like we could check on them, see them. Like I've never experienced this before. I've never lived in the country like this. I've never like been this close to a bird's nest and like watched her build it, watched her lay eggs. Like I was invested in this bird and her eggs.
We've discovered today Jessii has favorites. She plays favorites.
I care about the other nest. I just cared about this one more.
Favorites.
Yeah. Anyways, we don't know what happened. We think they were taken by predators. And like, it makes me sad because like if they were starting to hatch and then they were taken, like their lives were just about to begin. Makes me so sad. And if they were duds, then that poor mother was pecking at the eggs, like wondering why they weren't hatching. And that makes me even sadder.
Nature happens. I
just like, I can't get over this.
I guarantee you, all animals in the world.
I know.
Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it doesn't. People go through it too. All we can do is try and move on as best we can. Okay?
I know.
Little life lesson there. But also, we're talking about eggs in a nest by our windowsill. Everything's gonna be okay.
People are probably like, what's wrong with you, Jessii? I just care about things and I get attached to things.
Well, we've been having some bad animal luck recently, especially with this little man right here. He twisted his leg.
Yeah, he got really injured the other day.
He's still recovering a little bit. He tried to jump on our little reading nook chair, did like a 360 and fell over and landed on his leg wrong.
And so now he's been limping.
Limping a little bit.
But he's been doing
really
like
careful
parkour in our house lately. Yeah. He loves to jump on things, and like our couch is really tall, so we make sure he never like gets on the top of it to jump off the back, because that's like how high, like 4 feet or something, which is kind of...
No, that's not 4 feet.
What is it?
Like 3.
Yeah.
It's like 3 feet.
It's pretty tall for a little boy. And the other day I was just sitting there. He runs by me, jumps on the couch, and jumps off the back of the couch. Jumps probably 10 feet into the kitchen area and like doesn't land properly, like hits his head. And I'm like, what are you doing, parkour? And then after that, he goes to the reading chair, jumps up, misses, flips, and then lands on his leg. So like he's had double whammy. I don't know what the heck he's doing.
He's
but
having fun is what he's doing.
Are you trying to fly? Like, I don't understand him. Anyway, he's okay,
We were really
though.
worried. We were about to take him to the vet, but we waited the night just to see, and he has been recovering pretty well. Because right after he took the tumble, he wouldn't walk at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. But now he kind of runs like Gollum, wriggling around and all that, but he's been getting a lot better. And he's been running, jumping, doing all his crazy stuff again. So
he'll be okay.
Yeah.
He's a growing boy.
Puppies are bendy.
In other news and good news, I just did the video with Rainn Wilson, who was in character as Terry Carnation. So that video is going to come out probably early next week. We will let you know. But it was so cool. I was so nervous to do the video because he's like one of my favorite actors ever. So like I was kind of starstruck at first, but I think the video was really good and I'm excited for that to come out. And in other news, Mandy's mystery box is out. It's called the Sunshine and Style Box. It's currently on the website. We'll link it down below in the description. Really cool stuff in there. And yeah, those are all the announcements. But sorry about the bad news, guys. I feel like you guys might have also been invested in these birds. We almost saw them hatch, almost. Anyway, that is our update for today. It's kind of a sad one, but good stuff coming next week. And yeah, we hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and we'll talk to you very soon. Bye.
See you guys.